Welcome back to Tech Blazer. This is the video of SpaceX Starship, the most ambitious and capable spacecraft ever conceived. Once completed, this towering stainless steel ship aims to realize the dream of sustainable travel to destinations across our solar system, from Earth orbit to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. But can such a massive rocket really be built? Will it expand our cosmic horizon or explode on the launch pad? In this in-depth video, we'll reveal the cutting-edge design and engineering behind this revolutionary vehicle. We'll discover how Starship could fundamentally transform space travel if it lives up to its epic promise. Strap in for the story of the spaceship built to make sci-fi reality. Let's dive in. This epic story starts in 2002 when business owner Elon Musk imagined people one day living on other planets. He wanted to start a colony on Mars, so he started the company SpaceX to build rockets that could be used over and over to make spaceflight cheaper. But Musk knew that reaching Mars would require a giant leap in rocket technology beyond anything that existed. This gave Musk the idea for Starship, a rocket system that would be completely reusable and more powerful than any rocket ever built before. Starship is designed to carry lots of people and cargo anywhere they want to go in space. The Moon, Mars, or farther. It's really more like a deep space ship than a normal rocket. Starship would be the biggest and heaviest spaceship anyone has ever tried to build. When the Starship is attached to its super heavy booster rocket, the whole thing is an astonishing 400 feet tall. That makes it taller than any rocket ever made, even the giant Saturn V that carried astronauts to the Moon. Early Starship models will be able to lift over 220,000 pounds into orbit. That's about as heavy as the entire International Space Station. So Starship will be able to carry huge amounts of weight into space. Building the super heavy booster and Starship spaceship really pushes rocket engineering to the limits. Instead of lightweight metals used by other rockets, these are built out of stainless steel. Using steel makes Starship very tough and strong to handle the harsh conditions of launching and space travel. And steel is affordable and easy to work with. So the steel construction makes Starship both durable for space and cheaper to build. The steel used to build Starship gives it a lot of strength. This allows Starship to handle the huge forces of blastoff and landing back on Earth without damage. The steel construction prevents the rocket from bending or caving in on itself during flight. It also protects Starship from the intense heat as it zooms back into the atmosphere. The steel makes the spaceship very tough and durable. The carefully made steel alloys give Starship a shiny mirrored outside that looks like retro 1950s spaceships. But while it looks retro, Starship uses cutting-edge materials engineering needed for real space missions today and in the future. Its classic sci-fi look comes from ultra-modern steel, but brute strength alone can't get this heavy spaceship off the ground. That's where its immense thrust comes in. Powering each stage of the vehicle are next-generation methane-fueled Raptor rocket engines designed in-house by SpaceX. Embodying clean-burning, reusable engine architecture, 33 Raptors will provide the super heavy mega booster with over 16 million pounds of liftoff thrust. Meanwhile, 6 smaller Raptors give the Starship upper stage the power for reaching orbit and beyond. Together, the 39 Raptor engines give Starship the most powerful thrust of any rocket in history, more than double the huge Saturn V rocket. This incredible power allows Starship to blast through atmospheres and zoom across outer space carrying heavy loads. The mega thrust makes Starship unmatched for launching big stuff to destinations across the solar system. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe to Tech Blazer. Now let's go back to the video. The deceptively spacious interior is divided into 2 main sections: the propellant tanks and above them, the payload bay. The tanks comprise most of Starship's volume, carrying 1,200 tons of liquid methane and oxygen to feed the hungry Raptor engines. In the payload bay, SpaceX has optimized the flight deck for up to 10 operators to command missions. But most of the interior space is devoted to transporting cargo and passengers in high-density configurations. Outfitted with cargo lockers, restraints, and access points, Starship's payload area can accommodate up to 100 metric tons of supplies, heavier than a commercial jetliner. For crewed flights, the hold would house luxurious crew cabins ringing the perimeter. This versatile payload capacity is central to Starship's mission. Depending on configuration, it can carry up to 100 people or 100 tons of cargo to destinations from Earth orbit to the Moon or Mars. For comparison, NASA's Saturn V topped out at just 50 tons to lunar orbit. Starship looks like old rockets but is way more advanced. Its fully reusable design cuts launch costs dramatically. The huge space inside enables new possibilities not feasible before. Making this complex rocket real is not easy. SpaceX will test Starship far more than normal to prove it's safe. The extensive testing will show Starship is ready for frequent flights with astronauts. At SpaceX's South Texas test facilities, engineers are rapidly building, testing, and improving Starship prototypes at a breakneck pace. These test vehicles attempt progressively more challenging flights to push the design limits. Early prototypes perform simple 150-meter hops to practice smooth takeoffs and landings. Later vehicles flown higher to test spacecraft capabilities in active flight regimes. 2 full-scale Starship prototypes even successfully launched to suborbital space and returned in controlled landings. There have been spectacular explosions too, reminders of the immense complexities still being mastered. But each failure provides lessons that directly feed back into design tweaks and safety improvements. In the near future, an orbital test flight will push Starship faster and higher than ever attempted. Advanced prototypes are already being assembled for this milestone mission, the first full demonstration of Starship's intended launch and re-entry profile. Further down the road, SpaceX has big plans for this heavy-lifting workhorse. As early as 2023, a lunar-configured Starship may deliver NASA astronauts to the moon's surface as part of the Artemis program, landing them more precisely than ever achieved during Apollo. But Musk's ultimate vision is establishing a permanent city on Mars. He aims to launch an audacious crewed flight to the Red Planet as soon as 2026. If achieved, it would be a watershed moment for human space exploration. With continued success, Starship could begin regular cargo runs delivering supplies and settlers to the Martian outpost later this decade. For passengers, the spacious cabins and amenities will provide comfort during the multi-month journey to their new world. Watching an early crewed Starship launch will surely be an unforgettable sight. As the massive rocket powers its way through the atmosphere, we'll know we're witnessing history, the work of daring engineers and explorers venturing outward to worlds beyond our own. From drawing board concept to an operational spacecraft, Starship's progress has been astronomical. Its cavernous architecture represents a new space age defined not by limits, but by possibility. Reliable, large-scale access to space would truly be paradigm-shifting. All of a sudden, everything we currently do in low Earth orbit can be bigger and bolder. Outposts on the Moon and Mars transition from dreams to reality. Starship aims to make space travel routine through technologies only recently becoming feasible. Its epic mass and might sits on the cusp of economic viability thanks to reusable rocketry. SpaceX faces big challenges in making Musk's space dreams come true, but their dedication to spreading humanity across planets is turning science fiction into reality. If Starship succeeds, it could be our first step into space. Dreamers turning possibilities into reality inspire us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates.